Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey guys, how's everyone doing? I saw some comments going through on the chat. That's why I didn't put them up on the screen to go through them originally, like I normally do whenever the intro is going, because there were some things I wanted to talk about and address, maybe correct a couple of things, because it seems like there's still confusion on a couple of things. So before we get into the photos, I just wanted to address the things that were already being discussed in the chat. So we're going to go through and say hi to a couple of people that were here already, and then we're going to start talking about that kind of stuff as it comes through. Hey there, Patty. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, iRock. Yeah, I saw that people are like, they've already, I'm painting my nails again, by the way. They've apparently found like the actual episode where this was said. I'm not going to pretend like I didn't think this was possible. I actually was telling Ariel about it this morning. I introduced Ariel to Vampire Diaries a hell of a long time ago. And so for the past like decade almost, she's been in love with the man 30 years her senior because she is obsessed with Ian Somerhalder and Damon. Okay. So when they said that they were watching Vampire Diaries and they were talking about a guy in all black and like she was hearing all of these things, I did sort of wonder if there was some sort of mix up with maybe what she was recalling for what she was watching. This was before we knew that she actually wasn't very intoxicated, because I was still trying to be like, okay, even if she was a little bit drunk, she wasn't drunk enough to not be adding contacts to her phone. She wasn't drunk enough to not have heard things like her own admittance. She heard everything in the house. We knew that from like day one before the body cam came out. Let's supposed to be so serious. Okay. But it did occur to me that maybe she was using something from the movie as part of what she was trying to tell the police. It did occur to me. So now that people are finding like this very specific episode, and apparently it has like flashbangs and stuff in it too, I am going to go in and find it and watch it myself. I told Ariel I was going to tell her which one it was as soon as I found it so she can go in and see it. She's like, you can't be serious. WTF. I'm like, yeah, that's what's coming out now, which honestly, again, I can see. Totally can see that. So I'm going to be doing that either today or tomorrow. Yeah, because that right there. People are saying that it's not just that, but also like the whole flashbang thing. But the flashbang thing didn't come from Dylan. It came from Bethany. So while the episode might have that, how would you explain the light that she claims to have seen from underneath her door? Because it's not like anything on the TV on the second room would reflect a light coming out from her door. So that's another thing that's sort of interesting about that. Hey there, Envy. These are the ones that came out with the ISP drop on the 22nd. We haven't gone over them on this channel yet. Hey, Sadie. Hey, Polka Dot. Do you think they'll do more than the 10 years you did in federal prison? Oh, my God. Yeah, he thinks like the fact that he's a felon is hilarious, which is disgusting, but okay. Yeah, these are the ones taken by ISP. These are the ones in the ISP drop. I was trying to figure out exactly when these were taken. I was going through a bunch of the MPD documents to see if they mentioned anything about whenever ISP got on scene. Then I was going through some of the ISP documents to see, because we know Talbot claims to have gotten there around like 2:40 something. That's where we found out that like Payne and Blaker were actually at the scene at that time and not 4 o'clock. There's a bunch of back and forth with all of that. But these are all taken in the dark. So I was looking at like how, like what time did it get dark back then? Just try to like figure out exactly when these were taken. I believe that these were taken on the same day. And that this is from like the first run through that Talbot had somebody do. I don't remember the guy's name specifically, but you can see here that I went to November 2022 and it got dark there like hella early. Like by 4:18, the sun was starting to go down. Twilight was over by like 4:50. So before 5 p.m., it was already pretty damn dark from this, what this is telling me. So it looks like these were taken that same day in the dark. I was trying to figure that part out because it was kind of confusing whenever the MPD ones came out because of Murphy being in them and then not really knowing for sure what was going on with if the bodies were there or not, which of course it turned out that they were, and those were the original ones taken from Snyder before Murphy was removed, which we can also see in the body cam that Murphy was removed before 12:40. Like I plan on going back over and doing the body cam stuff again, but I'm going to have like documents and stuff ready and out. So whenever Bethany and whenever Dylan are talking about their bullshit, We have all of the proof on the screen when it comes to what the forensic download says of their phones and their activity and everything that morning. And hopefully this second rundown, it'll be a lot easier to sort of see some things. I know that we're really questioning where the frick Bethany really was, because she wasn't with the original people. She was off to the side, and then the car like shows up, and it's very strange. The whole thing with Bethany, especially since her first comment is, "Can I go home for Thanksgiving?" Like, to me, I'm thinking, what would make you think you couldn't? The only way that somebody would hold you from leaving for Thanksgiving would be if you did something wrong, Bethany. And some people are like, "Oh my God, she's reverting back to childhood, wanting to be home for holidays." And I'm like, y'all reach more than y'all want to pretend like we're reaching. What? Just a lot. It's just a lot. So yeah, we're going to go through these, but there's a couple of other comments that I saw that I wanted to bring up. Yeah, I'm going to look for that. Yeah, no joke. I'm very curious. Okay, right here. I want to talk about this damn Jack in the Box too. We're going to talk about it more when we get to the photos. I still am not convinced that this is the Jack in the Box that she got. Like, I'm sorry, not sorry about it. I am very confused by this timeline, because if we're supposed to believe that the food was dropped off at the front door at 3:59, they have not told us a damn thing about what time, if there is a time, that somebody opened that front door and grabbed that food right before all the hell broke loose. And all hell breaks loose like within a few minutes. So it's really difficult for me to think that she went down there, got her food, went back upstairs, ate everything, and then put her stuff in the kitchen all within like 8 minutes. I also have an issue with the fact that it has Xana's name on it whenever it came from Ethan's account, and that's a proven fact. Now, I know that people can order from other people's accounts. I'm not stupid. And I do know that they're claiming that there was a gray iPhone next to her and a pink iPhone next to Ethan on the bed. But I'm pretty positive, like, it coming through Ethan's account, it would have Ethan's freaking name on it. And they also, like, got food all the time. It could have been a pickup order from before that was just, like, laid there. We have no actual guarantee from anything that they have physically shown us that this is the order. Now, there's also, like, a bag in her room. I'm unclear as to if it's, like, Taco Bell or Jack in the Box. It could be Taco Bell. They both do have, like, purple in their logos. I just don't remember what it was back in 2022. They change their shit all the time depending on the season and what, like, the certain, like, promotion and stuff is. So I don't know what it looked like back then. All I know is that there's something like that similar in her room next to a thing of beer that has blood on it, and the bag itself has blood on it. But for it to be in the kitchen, I don't know. With the timing and all of it's gone, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm still really, like, not convinced on that one yet. I'm not convinced on that one yet. And see, the stomach contents, they haven't told us anything about that either, and I don't know why. Like, obviously, we're going to be expecting to hear, like, the girls had, like, the carbonara or whatever. But why can't they just tell us that, yeah, there was, like, proof that she ate the food? They haven't said anything about that. And that's just, like, confusing to me because, again, like, you're giving her, like, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Really. I mean, stuff starts popping off in those cameras, honestly, like, before 4 o'clock. There's a lot of noise in the background, like, whenever Molly's around. Like, when she first pulls in. Before, like, the timestamp of her, like, dropping anything off, apparently. Yeah, this shit happens and stuff that we don't even see. We're going through the photos. Yeah, I want to compare them to some of the other things that we've already seen. Plus, we have some also on the, like, ISP report itself. They start at page 375, and it looks like they've already sprayed. They're using a Mito black spray for the majority of everything here. Like, I've gone in and looked at several of these. Luminol, before it's activated by a light, is like a palish yellow, almost like a see-through color until it's activated. And everything that they're showing, when it comes to like spraying stuff, it's definitely Amido black. But it's also like not like in a spray. It's very just like messy. My buddy's like, it looks like they're using a squirt bottle instead of like a spray bottle to where it would be like more even. They're kind of just like all over the place, which is like ridiculous. So we're going to be looking at some of that stuff too. It's just interesting the placements of some of these things. Yeah, and also I put it in my community tab. I'm going to do a video on it separately by itself with like all of the details in it. But whenever we were watching the body cam and they went up to the 3rd floor, my brain forgets that there's like that turn in the step, like in the stairs. So whenever I'm seeing them like leave Dylan's room and then it goes up to that one door, I'm like, oh, that has to be Kaylee's. But that wasn't obviously Kaylee's, because I forget that there's that turn in that step. But then it made like even less sense as we got like further down to where they're talking about closing the door, because they don't close the freaking door where the dog is in Kaylee's room, which is the first room that you see whenever they go up the step. They close Maddie's bedroom. They close the bedroom that shares the wall with the bathroom, which is where Maddie and Kaylee were found. So while he is told, shut the door so the dogs don't contaminate the scene, we see that in Gunderson's report. That's the very first file in the MPD records. Not supplemental one, but like the actual like OG general narrative report, the first file. He says he told, I think it was Nunez, to go and close the door so the dog didn't contaminate the scene. But instead of closing Kaylee's door where the dog apparently was, they go to the bedroom that's sharing a wall with the bathroom, which is Maddie's, and they close the crime scene door. So that's why it confused me even more. Like, what am I looking at? Because Payne's PCA, Blaker's PCA, and Payne's original report, they all describe, like, they see Kaylee's room first, and then they see the bathroom, and then they see Maddie's door. So whenever I'm hearing, okay, in my brain, I'm thinking somebody should be shutting Kaylee's door where the dog is, and they go to Maddie's room and close the door, like, that just, like, melted my brain even more, like, what is happening? So I was seeing and, like, remembering all of the way that the reports were written before, the original reports, and the way that everything was lined up. And then whenever I was watching them go through and close the wrong door, it just like threw me even more for a loop. But I finally figured all that out and put that in the community tab, like laid out. And I'll do a video on it because I saw in the comments that a lot of people were really confused about what they were looking at, because a lot of stuff seemed like it was flipped. So at least I know that it wasn't just me. What we are looking at really just doesn't feel correct. And it very much sounds like either things were purposely flipped around or they're just ignorant. Like all of them are just actually ignorant, and they just copy and pasted the exact same crap without going in and like validating that what they were writing was even accurate. Like what they were copying was even correct. They didn't bother to proof anything. And that's how the bullshit always starts, by the laziness. So it's hard to tell what started first, the bullshit or the laziness. Was it really a cover-up of a cover-up of a cover-up? Was it a cover-up because they're stupid and they're having to cover up the fact they're uneducated imbeciles? Or what's going on here? Because you were told to shut the door, and instead of shutting the door where the dog was, where there wasn't any bodies and there wasn't any blood, you go and you shut the crime scene door, and now you've messed with the scene. Why'd you do that? Why are you dumb? Because if the whole point was to not let the dog out to contaminate anything, you have a crime scene below you too. So naturally you would think we're going to close the dog in, not close one crime scene door and leave the bottom one open. So yeah, that threw everybody off. I'm glad I wasn't the only one that was like confuzzled and melted for a little while. Yeah, most people do. Which is also crazy. Did y'all know that he married is it the mother? He married somebody from Twilight. Damon married one of the Twilight girls. Oh, he does have those eyebrows, doesn't he? You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. There was something I saw in here in a comment when it comes to the plea deal and how that happened that I wanted to address. What is this one? Okay. I saw y'all talking about this. If you can find that, I'd love to see it if the person actually like has proof of anything. But I noticed that you said that you couldn't find the video, like you didn't get to finish it and then you couldn't find it in your history. I've never seen anything remotely even close to that. But if you do find it, that'd be really great if she's got proof and it's not just like her assuming something about him filing some sort of corruption report. It'd be great if it was like there was proof. So I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. Hey, MDP. I'm trying to see. Well, I can't find it. Anyway, okay, here it is, right here. Okay, so when it comes to the plea deal, the prosecution didn't offer it. This is something that for some reason is still a little bit not everybody's on the same page as what the truth is. The prosecution didn't offer this. The defense came to them with this. But it was because the judge in the May hearing asked both sides if either one of them have been approached with any sort of deal or agreement or anything, and both sides said no. So at this point, regardless of whatever any rumors were, there had not been any talks of a plea, no talks of an agreement or anything like that up until now, like up until the May hearing. So there was like a piece of paper, some sort of form that was given, and they were given a deadline. And I believe it was like the end of June, which is when all of this stuff started happening. So the prosecution accepted it on its head, basically, without like any negotiation, not being like, nah, broski, you want to do something like this? You're going to tell us where the damn knife is, or we're not giving you anything. We're going to take your ass to trial. That's how it should have gone. Any prosecutor with some cojones could have done it that way. But instead, Bill decided to be a big old beta bee and cower and do nothing. And again, blame it on some FBI profiler that they talked to before they even had a suspect, saying that it wouldn't matter what the person said. The reason was normal brains wouldn't understand it or comprehend it, so it just didn't matter. That's bullshit. You're a coward, Bill Thompson. A coward is all this was. Plus, he knew he couldn't get an answer out of him. Is 99.9999% of the reason why he didn't bother, because he knew there wasn't one to get from him. So that being said, it wasn't the prosecution that offered it. It wasn't the prosecution that tried to get it to this point, at least not with the story that we're being told and what was filed first. We're being told the defense came to them. Then the prosecution went to the families. They had a Zoom meeting about this shit that Friday. I was told this by Kara, that she had gotten an email that day before on that Thursday that they needed to meet with everyone at noon on Friday. And it turned out that it was about the plea deal. Now, whatever was discussed, she didn't tell me that. I don't even know if she was on the meeting, honestly. She just told me that she had a thing for it. I messed my nail polish up. She just told me that she had an email for it. But when it comes to like them accepting or whatever, like all of that was done as bullshit, as Steve said. Like there was a meeting, the families were told what was going to happen at noon on Friday in the Zoom meeting, but then Sunday evening is whenever they got like an email basically confirming everything that was going to happen. And it was late in the evening. Instead of it being like Monday morning where they get the families all back together and they do it face to face, it was an email. But they were told in a meeting on Friday that this was what was going on. So again, it wasn't the prosecution that waited until this close. It was the defense. It was the defense. And I don't know why they haven't filed anything just yet. It is very strange to me, unless they are waiting for some sort of last minute thing. I don't know. I don't know what, I'm not a lawyer. I definitely don't know Idaho law. I don't know how this would work. I don't know how it would work if he didn't want the same lawyers. I don't know how any of this stuff would work when it comes to that. All I know is that there's like, what, two weeks left in like business terms. So like 10 business days, I guess. Or is it like 10 days straight that they have to file anything? I just don't see what the point would be of going through all of this and all of this stuff coming out and there being even more questions now, even more questions, even more issues with things, and even more lies coming forward, and you not file something. So there's that. There's that. We're going to see it. The pictures that they're talking about of the car are in these photos. I know somebody had mentioned something about the mattress right here. The mattress being next to the car was done on purpose to cross-contaminate. There wasn't anything found in his car. So even if it was put there for any sort of purpose, whatever the purpose would have been, it didn't work. So that doesn't work for me either, because they didn't find anything. And they can't backtrack now and be like, oh, we found something after 3 years. They haven't found anything. Literally at all in that car. His car, his apartment, literally anywhere at all. Which I do find it interesting that they try to say that he like hella cleaned his car. But then like you look at photos of it, right? Let me go. Actually, we'll just go like, I'll show you these right now. Here. We'll just go straight down to them because they're at the bottom. Look how fucking filthy this thing is. You're trying to tell me that he stood there and he deep cleaned this thing with bleach? You're going to sit there and tell me that he deep cleaned this car and then y'all arrested him? And like, it looks like this. This is what it looked like in the Indiana traffic stops. This is what a car looks like when it's been driven through snow and all kinds of nasty. This car was not driven back to Moscow. I promise you it wasn't. And if they did drive it back to Moscow, then they ruined everything they possibly could have ruined with this vehicle. This thing would have been like taken apart, put on a trailer or something like that, and then driven back like by something else. You're sitting here trying to tell me that I'm supposed to believe that he was out in the garage with a bucket and a scrubber whenever he got arrested, and y'all want me to think that he was deep cleaning this thing? Look at this car. This was not driven after his arrest. There ain't no way in hell. And these tapes, they say like January something 2023. This thing hasn't been moved in I don't even know how long. Look how dirty this thing is. There's no way they're going to make me believe that he deep cleaned this car. Look at it. Look at it. No. No and no again. This is what it looked like as he was driving up there. So you're trying to tell me that y'all saw him with bleach somewhere at a car wash? Where? You're trying to tell me that y'all saw a bucket of soap and water and cleaning stuff in the garage next to where they had it parked at his parents' house and they were cleaning it? No, it can't be fingerprint powder. Look at this. Look at the marks. This is from like driving in weather. This is from driving in weather. This is grimace. This is nasty. This is road soot. This isn't blue from powder or from trying to use Amido black on anything or anything else. This is nasty from driving. Meaning this is what it looked like when they picked it up at his parents' garage. Look at it. It's disgusting. He didn't clean this car. And now see this white spray? This is what luminol looks like whenever it's clear before it's like lit up. As from what I can tell. And there's nothing being lit up anywhere. They didn't even bother like putting a light on anything. And look, it's all taken apart. But no, this is road nasty. This is road nasty. Look at it. Look how dark that is. You see this exact same thing in the Indiana stops. Exact same thing. This is water leakage from driving. See the direction, how it goes back. If this was stuff that was being sprayed on the car like luminol, it would be down. All of the streaks would be downwards. These are not downward streaks. These are driving streaks. And they wouldn't have driven it after they arrested him. This is all the same nasty that was in the Indiana stuff. So how are you going to tell me that he was deep cleaning anything? And also remember that whenever there was an Idaho Statesman article that came out, they spoke to some of the police officers, and they said that there was nothing to substantiate that they had no proof that he was deep cleaning anything. No proof. But that is one of the mattresses. We've seen that stain before. That's blood. That's blood. And it is hard to tell if all the evidence right here is from the house or not. I know some right here's the bike. Because this is like this is the I can't even talk. This is the city shop where they have all of this stuff stored. So they use it for more than just this one case. They haven't said anything about any bikes being taken. This is a bicycle, and then like a dirt bike right here. See, that's the bike that they were talking about. But yeah, there's no way that this car was deep cleaned by him. I mean, he didn't even run this damn thing through a damn car wash. What you talking about? It is filthy. So yeah, all that talk of him bleaching this and car wash that. Where? Yeah, it's there, but they can't say that anything got on it because they've already proven that there's nothing of theirs in his vehicle. No hairs, no fibers, no blood, no biologics, no nothing. So they can't backtrack now. They cannot try to backtrack now. They've already said that it's not anything in there. It is all next to each other, though, which is odd. Now, again, this was back in January of 2023. Let me go back and make sure on the tape, because you can see on one of the tapes, like, the date. I think it's this one. No, it is not. It's one that has, like, a more... Right here. Let me see. Is it January or is it March? Yeah. So this was taken after this, because this date is 3/9. Actually, you know what? No. Yeah, it says 3/9/23 right here. That's the last evidence still as these pictures were being taken, is 3/9/23. So as of 3/9/23, the mattresses are still there. That's interesting, considering that we were told that they were just, like, basically burned when the house got burned. Oh yeah, no, that was before this. Okay, no, my dates are mixed up. Yeah, it is kind of odd that they're just, like, leaving it there like that, actually. But it's just one of them? Where's the other one? Because there's something crumbled up next to it on the ground. Hold on, where is that? I think it's, like, the mattress cover from the other mattress. See how there's, like, a crumply thingy right here? Is this another one right here on the other side of the car? Yeah, look, there's another mattress right here. But this one, they have something up against it that's covered in a tarp. Yeah, see, look, there's, like, another mattress cover thing, like, just crumpled up on the floor next to it. So, yeah, there's that. But, yeah, even though they're right there next to it, it doesn't really mean much because they already said there's nothing in that car. Nothing in that car. Okay. Go back to the top. There's really not a lot, honestly, in these photos. It's really just more like the original layout of the house, but it's still not the original layout of the house at the same time. Because there is some of the photos where it looks like they did, like, move a couple things, like, in the pictures themselves when it comes to these ones over here that came from the ISP, like, report thing. See the steps? So when they get to that portion of it, I'll, like, go back and forth to, like, compare, because it looks like at one point that there was a cup from, like, a restaurant that was not crumpled, and then, like, later on it's crumpled, like some a-hole stepped on it. Like, how can you not see a big-ass cup that could be evidence and you're sitting there stepping on it? So there's that. Now, I just want to remind you guys, again, I checked to see when the sun went down. This is November 2022, and it shows that the sun would have started going down at 4:18, and it basically, like, twilight would be over at 4:50-ish. So it would be pretty dark by 5 o'clock, by 5 o'clock-ish. So we know that ISP Detective Talbot, whenever he was brought onto the scene, that he had someone, let's see what time they're saying that all that happened. Hold on. Let's see. They're saying Talbot got to scene at 2:41, and then they started the walkthrough at around 5 p.m. Are they taking photos as they're doing this? I think so. No. So, okay. Okay. 3D scans started at 6:30 p.m. of Xana and Maddie's room. And then at 7:05 p.m., they started taking photographs of shoe prints and laptops and things like that. So they finished taking photos at 11:44 p.m. Also, remember, which page is it? Oh, shit. Where'd I put it? There's one of these that shows that they deleted a photo out of taking the photos and it messed up the sequential order. I had the damn thing written down of which document it was, and now I can't find my paper. Whatever. Okay. We know this is the Oregon car. No, this is a car that was found on Facebook, apparently. Have y'all seen this shit? This is an Impala that someone saw for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, that's going to be a wild one to get into. I'm trying to get back to the photo that I just had up, though. And now I don't remember what page it was. Was it 397? Oh, I knew I should have written it down. I'm really not that organized today, like literally at all. Let me get back to the page where the photos are so I know where to start. There it is. Okay. Starts at 379. Nope. No, it doesn't. 375. Okay. So we're going to start out with these, and then whenever it goes through to the other ones, we'll switch back and forth. So this would be obviously the front of the house. How Molly is going to sit there and say that you can't see the 1122 over the door is wild to me. Absolutely wild to me. So now we have like this side of the house. So is this like how the lights always are, or are these like some cop lights they brought in to make things brighter? Like, it's honestly kind of hard to tell. I guess it could have been like their own lights, because right here it's like hella dark. They must have run in some spotlights. It's trash right there. I can't tell from what, though. See, it's crazy. It's like little bitty spots of snow in like certain places. Plop here, plop here. Like little bitty spots of ice. It's interesting. Okay, so here's that ladder. That would be the basement. That would be Xana's room. I wonder what's sticking out of the blind right here. See, like, this is 1118, where Xana used to live. This is the Shark Tank house. And this is, I believe, the back of 1112. Maybe not, though. Why does that look like lower than it should be? Is this guy like standing up on something? Is this a drone photo, maybe? Because I feel like this is a lot taller than a human. Like, this angle looks off. Maybe these are drone pictures. No, that's not. That can't be 1112. That looks off right there. Hanger, a little bit of ice. Something right here on the ground. Trash, probably. Packing bubbles? Those packing bubbles? Those big ones? So that looks like packing bubbles. Yeah, the Explorer is interesting. I don't know who freaking drove that. I'm not sure. Because the Explorer wasn't ever anything that was like really talked about in the very beginning. Now I know that we heard that not just Ethan's Jeep, but also like Hunter's vehicle was also like looked at by the defense, which didn't make any sense because Hunter walked there. Both Hunters walked there. So I don't know. Honestly, I have no freaking idea. I'm still very much confused on the Ford Explorer. I'm not going to pretend like I know shit about it. I don't. Maddie's car is there. Xana's car is there. Kaylee's Range Rover is there. Then we have this RAV4 popping up after Bethany miraculously appears in the street. I don't know about the damn Explorer. Someone had mentioned something about how, see, but it can't be Maisie's either. Maisie wasn't there in a vehicle. Maisie had to get a ride. Maisie was dropped off. I don't remember because he walks. He shows up. He walks from the frat house across the field with a friend. And you see him walk up in his pink hoodie and he's talking to Hunter Johnson in the pale blue hoodie. Jack D is in a darker blue hoodie and shorts. And then one of the girls that went over there, I can't remember whether her name is Josie or Jenna. Because I know there's a Jenna McClure, I believe her last name was, that was messaging with both Dylan and Bethany. But there was also a Josie that was hanging out with Emily and Hunter Johnson. And I believe her boyfriend was with them. That's the guy that's in the pants in the dark blue hoodie. So both Hunters walked. So I don't know why it would be there. See, okay, exactly. Josie's boyfriend is the one that's in the front of the house with the pants on and the dark blue jacket. Jack Decor walks up later in shorts and a dark blue hoodie. Hunter Johnson is in shorts and a baby blue hoodie. And Hunter Chapin walks up again in shorts, but a pale pink hoodie. No one drove. That's a good possibility. That may, yeah, you know, because have they ever actually mentioned what got driven out to Hunga Dunga and back? Was it the Jeep or was it that? Because that's very possible that they drove it over there and parked it at Ethan's house because maybe there wasn't going to be any parking at Sigma Chi because of the party. And so they just decided to park it there and then they walked. That's very possible. That I don't think that would make sense because they dropped Maisie back off at her sorority and they would have probably picked her up from there too. So it wouldn't make sense for it to be Maisie's from the night before either. And it was Hunter that drove it. I don't know. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. See that? Oh, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't say anything about Maisie going over to King Road. Yeah, she hated Dylan. There's no way eight people would fit in that car. They would have had to have taken multiple vehicles. So I'm just going to assume that they did take both of them, but why it's parked there, I don't understand. Because again, Hunter Chapin walked over and Maisie had to get a ride. Unless she had to get a ride because it was her vehicle. I don't know. It's everywhere. Yeah, I remember them saying they both got impounded. I don't know. I'm guessing maybe it was Hunter drove it for the party for Hunga Dunga. And that's just like where it got parked. Which makes sense. But there's no way that 8 people fit in one vehicle. They would have had to have taken both cars. I have a feeling they just took both of them. And it must have just gotten parked there. But it still like leaves a lot of question because it was parked there overnight at a very important time. So yeah. It is interesting how the Explorer's like been there the whole time. See, this is Maddie's little white car. She didn't arrive and find the bodies. What are you talking about? She was called over. She's like one of the last people that show up, and she walked from farther away because she had to get a ride. She said so herself in her interview. She had to get a ride. She didn't have a vehicle with her. So I don't know if it's because she just didn't have her own vehicle with her, or she just genuinely like didn't have a car. Unless that was the reason why she had to get a ride, was because hers was already over there. But either way, she did not drive a vehicle there that morning. She was dropped off by somebody. This car, Xana's car, is an interesting car more than it was before, because we've got 2 reports now that claim they thought this was the car that picked up the girls that day from the grub truck. 2 different reports. And it's really difficult to understand where the mix-up would come, because this is a dark blue car, and Eric Gower's is a silver Prius that he would have had. So it's interesting, those 2 separate reports that think that this blue car, and then the other one said, oh, well, we just thought that it was Ethan and Xana that picked him up because of how they were acting when they got in it. Like, so I guess they were like really super friendly, or like, is it possible that Ethan and Xana were like in the car with Eric? Did he pick them all up? No, I guess everybody would fit. See, that whole thing is just really confusing too. That's been thrown into there into that, and needs to be like waded through, because those are 2 different reports with the ISP stuff. Or was there one with MPD and one with ISP? It might have been that way. See, just like that little bit of snow. It's interesting that they cut it here. Like, why wouldn't you have ran the crime scene tape along the entire fence line? Such an odd way to cut it. But that's the stump they're claiming, like the footprints went like around. See, this is where it also gets like a little confusing with the way that MPD has it described. So one of them has the steps coming from the porch, going around the stump, and then leaving like towards the front. The other one has them coming from the porch, going around the stump, and then they go like this way, I think, like the opposite, because it's something about being between 1118, which would be this house, and 1126, which I guess would be like back here somewhere behind these trees, like where this light is, I guess. So they've given us like two different officers that got there at around the same time, and we're walking through at around the same time. They've given us 2 different directions, because going in front of the house is the opposite direction of going in between 1118 and 1126. See, and already like the pizza boxes are not on top of the trash the way that they were in other photos. This is the stuff right here, side note. This roofing tin right here is what I'm using to build my garden beds. Just side note, because I saw it. Just little pieces of snow. Lots more snow hanging out here. This is still just so interesting to me how it melts differently. See, this is where we're going to get to where this like backpack thing is. And then we find out that it's not a backpack. Like, it's really obvious to me now that all the things that Steve thought were kill kits are ways that these college kids get their alcohol around. Because all of the backpacks that are inside the house all look the freaking same. They're these little cheapy black, like JanSport backpacks. And then this one that's outside, it's a cooler. I'll show y'all the one in a minute when it gets closer. So this is like, they're trying to show technically like where they're seeing footsteps, but you really can't tell where the frick they're seeing them in the way, like maybe a little bit over here, but like there's so much of just like it being so patchy, it's difficult to tell until they get closer and they start like showing you the actual measurements of stuff. See right here, you can sort of see like maybe there's a little bit right here, there's a footstep, but that's going that way. See, it's for me, like what looking at this, it's hard for me to see like what could be a footprint and what couldn't be. Right here, you can sort of see like the diamond-ish impression. There's another diamond-ish impression here. A lot right here. This is almost like somebody was overstepping the steps. Because it looks like one of them is like this way. And then there's another one that's pointing that way. See, and this is what they're claiming is like another one. You can sort of see like the lining in the snow itself. And then there's this one. Yeah, somebody said take a look at it. It has like a heel. Yeah, this one has like a boot heel impression. You see how there's a line like a cowboy boot would have? A definite like separation for the heel. Yeah, it definitely is there. I guess they're claiming this is a foot impression, a shoe impression. I don't see how. I guess it's maybe a little bit in the mud, maybe. There's not enough of like anything pressed down in this to make me believe this is a shoe impression. Just looks like an odd shape to me. Okay, yeah, see, look. There it is again. There is an impression. It's almost like a work boot. Unless it could be the Doc Martens. Like this could just be Doc Martens from whenever Maddie helped Bethany take the dogs out. I'm not really sure how those look at the bottom, but they're a boot. So they might have a heel separator. Because I've thought about that too. But I just don't know what size like all of them were. See, here is them measuring this one. It's not even like even. It goes at a freaking angle. It's definitely more than a foot. Because this goes out way down here for like another, what, inch or so? Like behind it. And up here, like if this really were to continue with the way that this arches, like I would assume that this would be about where this would start to arch through. It'd be about right here if you follow the curve. This is a big foot. I don't know exactly what size shoe this would be, but I have some size. I do resales sometimes if I find like good enough deals. And so I have a bunch of Jordans and a bunch of Nikes and a bunch of like just different along those lines, like bigger size shoes that I got for real cheap that I need to post. But they're like, they go anywhere from like size 14 up to like size 18. I guess I should go out in the garage and measure those and see like how many inches that is. Because I've honestly tried to like look up different ways to like see what size foot this would really be. And there's so many different things on the internet that none of them are like accurate or even matching up with each other. Some people believe that it's like a size 18 shoe. I'm not really quite sure. No, they never said a shoe size. They only said inches. They said it was like 14 inches, 13 and a half to 14 inches long. You know, it's just inches. And see, I've looked up like, okay, if I have a 14-inch foot, what size shoes do I wear in men's? and it tells me like size 14. But then on another chart, on a US chart, it'll say something like a size 17 or a size 18. So the internet's just ignorant, obviously. I need to just go, I guess, measure the size 18s in my garage and see how long they are. But this is a decent sized foot here. And it also looks like it's wide. Maybe. And they don't mention anything about there being an impression where there's a separation in the heel. They only talk about this like diamond print. And I don't really see a diamond print in this. All I see is a heel separator. Yeah, this definitely would be like up here. See, this is a little different. What kind of stick is this one? This is a man foot. This isn't a Doc Martin off of a girl. This is a dude. Yeah, there's definitely like a boot impression. See, these are probably cop prints right here. These are like leading. Well, see, they're leading to and from. See, this is where I know that like y'all are really just like screwing shit up. Because already we can see they had to have walked into the snow. So are they paying attention to their own footsteps? Because I highly doubt that they're that intelligent. They've already kind of proven that they're stupid. Because you can already see it like overlapping footprints back here. Okay, so here's this thing. And again, this is not a backpack. Do you see how this says, let me make it bigger. Turret, and it says something like explore, blah, 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 whatever. This is pretty much the same one right here. I mean, it's not pretty much the same one, but this is the brand. They're a cooler. They're an insulated backpack cooler. So it's not a backpack. I don't know if I'll be able to find like the exact one. Because they've got like, damn, they've got a lot. Trying to see if I can find one that has the label down at the bottom the way that one does. No, not right off the bat. But y'all get the idea. Like, it's a cooler. It's on a backpack. It's not a part of a kill kit collection. It's a cooler. And they constantly talked about how they were stuffing alcohol in these black backpacks. Like, there's like 2 or 3 different reports where they're talking about the black bags and like alcohol being carried. So I'm just assuming at this point that like the backpack that we see at the top of the stairs, the backpack that we see in the middle of the living room, this one out here, this is how they carry their alcohol back and forth so that the minors are not seen with alcohol as they're being, you know, watched from these alcohol enforcement cops. So they weren't kill kits. They were contraband carriers. Was basically what they were. I don't know why they took pictures of all this back here because it's not like they're showing like a trail of what they think might have been followed or walked up to or anything. Unless this is like the direction that they think that the other steps went, but this isn't. Looks like they're just making another 360 of the house. See how there's like a bunch of drippy stuff like from the top? See right here? Like the apartments next door were really nasty like that too. They had a bunch of drippy stuff that they originally thought might have been blood, but then it all got tested. And see how it's like random ass spots? Like what? That they thought might be blood. So they tested it and it all turned out no. at the apartments next door, because it just has a bunch of drippy rust everywhere. Okay, so now it goes into the house. Oh, I didn't realize their ventilation system looked like that. Huh. That's different. I usually see that in like restaurants, like big industrial sized buildings, not usually in houses. I guess I didn't realize it ran that way. So off to this side would be that empty room. And here's the bathroom. That's the steps to go up to the second floor, but this is the hallway that goes down to Bethany's room. See, they've got an evidence marker down here for something. Are they not going to show it? Are they not going to show it? What? Okay, so you see how that's down here? They have an evidence marker down here on the floor, but they're not going to show a picture of it. Am I tripping? Do they not go back down and take a picture? I mean, I'll go back up because I know I'm going fast, but I'm trying to like see, are they going to... Okay, maybe they won't. Damn, they turned that light on and it got kind of bright. Okay, let's just go back to where we were. Okay, so yeah, their ventilation is interesting, that's for sure. Yeah, so that hallway would be like, I think, a utility room and then Bethany's room. This is that bathroom. This is behind the front door. They are trying to get like every corner, huh? Why are they taking so many pictures of this part though? Because like there's nothing here. At least nothing that I can see. I don't see any blood or anything right here. So I don't know why they're taking extra photos of this. It just looks dirty. It doesn't look like there's anything else there. This is just where there was a door handle lock before. That's why it's okay that this is missing, because there's nothing there for it to be attached to. This is the part that matters. But honestly, they probably still could have done with like a deadbolt, an additional deadbolt right there, instead of just leaving it blank. But that's on the landlord, I guess. Okay, so here's the bottom bathroom. No rugs. I mean, it looks really clean, honestly. No trash can. No toilet paper. No towels. Oh, there's trash in that trash can. There it is right there. And I'm only mentioning that stuff because that's stuff that can be removed if there's things on it. And then the other bathrooms, it shows there's rugs. So it's interesting there's no rugs in this one. I guess it could have just been dirty. But I don't see, at least not with like a naked eye, like anything else. Like no blood or anything anywhere. Yeah, I'm like that light is bright in that bathroom. Okay, so see, there's no evidence tape here. Oh, okay. It wasn't something that was evidence. It was an actual pack of like markers to use. You see that right there? That's why. Okay. I don't see anything there. See, this is the door that they were talking about, how there was a door with a lock that they couldn't get in, and they were like something about Team Idaho, which is like the management company of the King Roadhouse. If you look it up, it's a property management company, and they said that they didn't have any access to it or whatever. I'm pretty positive this is the door that they're talking about. It's not a padlock, it's a pin code thingy that doesn't have a handle. Like basically this part's the handle, but you got to put the key in, which is crazy. And see, this is something different. This is underneath the step. There's like a Harry Potter type door and like a little closet. So this is where they kept all their like cleaning stuff, their vacuum and stuff like that. And it would be underneath the steps. These steps is where this is under. From what I can tell. Okay, see this cup right here? Is it these? Hold on, let me make sure these are the ones. It looks like somebody steps on it. I'm trying to see like where the picture is at. It's not this one. It's later on down the line. And I think the ISP pictures that we're looking at already. Yeah. Where it looks like somebody comes in and steps on this cup. And it's also like on a different tier. It's like down here or something like that. But I'm pretty sure that this is a Jack in the Crack cup. I think so. So this would be the handrail where there was an unknown male DNA spot found. If like the way that they're directing things is accurate. It'd be on one of these pieces right here, the handrail itself. Okay, see the backpack? There was a picture of these steps where you could see a backpack like here at the top of the stair. Maybe it was the MPD photos. Let me look real quick. It might have been further down in these ones, but I want to make sure. Where's the ones of the stairs? Okay, so not the MPD ones. The MPD shows the cup standing up straight. Okay, well, then it'll be later on down these then that it shows up. And I'll show you the difference. Because there is like a black backpack up here that you can see more noticeably in another one. And we know that in one of the reports, I think it was Josie. It's either Josie or Emily. They state that whenever they are going up the stairs to the second floor, that there is a backpack at the top of the stair. Or was that Payne? One of the two. But see, this one wouldn't be like, this one is like over this way. So if you're looking like where that backpack is, looking up this way, this backpack would be like on the opposite side of this half wall. So you wouldn't like really say that about that backpack. But this is just like another one of those things to where I'm like, they're just taking their alcohol in places with these bags. See, it's just like a regular schmegular JanSport backpack. Nothing of importance in my opinion. Just from like reading the reports and seeing like what they've been doing with the backpacks. So they were watching TV. This is what they were watching Vampire Diaries on. Cup here. There's something here behind the sweater. The one sock. Some people were questioning if it could be the one sock that Kaylee didn't have on. And it's possible. It looks like it is flat though, like it wasn't worn, so I'm not sure. So I'm guessing that this is what it looks like with the lights in the ceiling on. And this is what it would look like with them off. Meaning that even in the dark, somebody walking through this area, it's pretty lit up. You can definitely still see details. It's a phone charger there. I don't believe that's an iPhone charger though. See all the cups right here on the floor, and the fact that all those others, the cups on the other side are perfectly straight is wild. And this also was not here prior. Like in the MPD photos, that damn thing is not there. So again, like they've already moved stuff around and then they're going back in and they're taking more pictures, but they've already moved shit around and changed the scene. They've already done that. Like I'm trying to go in and look and see. Where's the other one that I had of the table? I'm like blind right now, apparently. They're farther away. So you really can't tell. But if you go in through the body cam, like you can already see like this is not here. So they've moved stuff already. Okay, see the Doc Martin, the boot right there? Where's the other one where it's laying down? Is it Maddie's photo? Or at least it looks like one of them's laying down. Let me see if I can find it and then I'll pull it up on the screen. Because I have all these like saved screenshot wise, but I need to relabel them. Never mind. You really can't see it. I can't see the one I'm looking for that has it like sideways because it looks like it does have the separator in the boot, but it's different at the same time. Like it doesn't have the pattern that they're trying to tell us they were looking for. And this is the EMS bag. This is the defibrillator bag that he picked up out of the police car. Nunez, when he got out of the car, went around, he grabbed that and went inside with it thinking that he was going to use it. And then it turned out he didn't need it. So that's why it's just like dropped right there. And I guess that he just never picked it back up. I don't know why they took a picture of like the way that this is other than to like show that the internet and stuff was on. I think there's like pictures of faces or body part, mouths and stuff like right here above the toilet. This would be the second floor bathroom. Who was wearing white pants? Xana was wearing all black. I wonder whose pants those are. There's something interesting right here. A little bit of a color. Okay, so this bathroom is where the washer and dryer is. The place that we lived before had the washer and dryer in the bathroom. I could not stand it. I hated it with a passion. Yeah, I can't tell if that's rust stain or what that is. I mean, it's on metal. I mean, it's on wood, but I guess it could still be like rusty water. Yeah. I just don't know what they would have like covered up certain pieces of this for. I guess I need to go back and see if there's other photos of that already from somewhere. See, this right here is part of their gear because that shouldn't be here, this big black thing right here. But I don't know why they would have put this on this table because that probably came from the kitchen. That's like a colander, a strainer. And there's the knife he apparently put down. Was that bottle always standing up like that? mean, it's standing up like that in that one. Is it standing up like that in the other ones? Yeah, it was. I don't know how an empty-ass bottle didn't tip over, but okay. Like, just simply what Dylan said about Kaylee going up the stairs, hearing something, and, like, running back down, and then there being, like, some sort of commotion. Like, that table would have gotten knocked over by any and everybody that walked next to it. Like, there's no room in between the doorway and that table and then the hallway and that door. Like, I know that these were, like, skinny people, but come on now. It's, like, right where, like, anybody and anybody running from anything is gonna hit that damn thing. Okay, there's something else that I wanted to point out. Like, I know that they said that there was blood found, like, on this half wall, right? And then there was this piece right here we were looking at because it looked like there was, like, 2 dots of what looked like it could be blood at the time. But now that I'm looking at it from this angle, it's metal. There's some sort of studding or something in here, or maybe there was, like, a banister or something that maybe, like, led up to the wall, to the ceiling previously. But this is definitely, like, 2 metal little pieces of, like, a screw or a nail or something like that that's sitting in there. It's not blood because that's definitely silver. Now, people did make remarks about, like, these little spots, about how they look. I do say they are pretty interesting. And where was this knife grabbed from? Because, like, look how it looks like it has, like, smears on it. Like, that's what my knife looks like whenever I'm done slicing cheese. You know what I mean? Like, it just looks like it has. He could have grabbed it out of the dirty sink. He might not have, like, grabbed it out of a drawer or whatever, but it looks dirty. So I'm just curious as to if what they ever, like, found from that, just in general. Here comes the kitchen. So at this point, when they're taking these photos, everything is still back there. So they haven't moved everything and sprayed it with Amido black just yet, like we do see later. All over the counter. See, here's the bag. This orange juice on the counter tracks to the cups that are filled with orange juice in the living room. There's the bag of popcorn. Dylan said that they popped popcorn whenever they got back. There's more cups. Yeah, you can tell he's got, like, a big old camera. You can see it here. See it? So this is how the door was apparently left open this much, because I think it's, like, moved more. It's been less, and it's been, like, about like this, but I remember it being less than 2 at some point. So if this door was literally actually left open by whoever would have left out it, I guess it would make sense that this is how Murphy would have gotten back inside the house. if this indeed was left open. But then it makes you wonder, like, so how'd he get out? Like, was the door left open and then he like ran out himself and just stayed out? Because if you listen to the barking on the 1112 camera, at the time frame that it would have been to where the person would have been like getting into what they would believe is SV1, Murphy stops barking and he stays quiet until the car looks to be like on Walenta, like where you can start seeing like headlights moving behind the houses, and then he starts barking again. So I found that interesting too, that as the person would have been like, or people would have been coming out the house, whoever, he's acknowledging the fact that now whatever was in the house is now outside of the house, and now he's got to shut up. It's very distinct if you listen to the timing of him silencing himself and when he starts barking back up again. Yeah, and see, again, the pizza boxes are not on top of the trash like they were. Or I guess like they are the next day whenever the news people start going crazy and getting pictures from everything. They're like in another bag on the floor behind the trash can. This is the table that we later see everything from the kitchen counter being stacked on. We see the photo from outside of this window right here. Yeah, we're going to do a live review of the 1112 footage that's out so far. Again, I don't know why Gray Hughes is the only one getting it. And then we have Anjanette Levy and Law and Order getting the body cam separately. Like, it's just odd, the strategic releasing, especially now that we have these TROs. I guess that was the one that was left open. See, there's the popcorn. Now, all of this right here is where we're going to see all of the dark blue staining of the amido black grabbing on to the proteins that it finds. And while, yes, this doesn't mean that it's human, it can grab onto any biological protein, okay? But there's no way in shit that it goes from literally here and all the way over here and is all up in the sink, and there's even like spots turning dark blue on the stove itself, and it not be something related to whatever the frick actually went down. There's just no freaking way. And those pictures come at the end of this after we go through these first ones. Which is another thing that kind of sucks, because they don't really tell you like the timestamps of differences, but you know by what you're looking at that it's not the same day. This is the foot. These are the handprints in the kitchen window that they took notice of. See, they claim that this is a small handprint. People say that I have small hands, and those fingers look longer than mine. See, handprint, and I guess this right here is what they considered like the face print, maybe. This is the little poor plant that we see knocked over and left for dead later on by the kitchen sink. So now this is them going up the stairs. See, this is that damn, this is it right here, isn't it? That damn turn. This is the damn turn that I forgot about when we were looking at what they were doing. This window is an interesting spot. That's an odd light for inside the house. I guess I've only seen spotlights, like security spotlights, look like that. I guess they can be for indoor. I mean, obviously they have them indoor. See this? Okay, so this is what it looks like from up there. See, that still doesn't make sense. It's like just barely off skew, but I just don't see how all the rest of that shit didn't fall. See, okay. This right here is Kaylee's room. So now that we've gone up and we've turned, Dylan's room and Maddie's room are on that side of the house. This is Kaylee's door, which is why it's insane we see them closing Maddie's door in the body cam footage when it comes to the dog. Because why are you closing Maddie's door? Why are you closing the crime scene door instead of closing the door where the dog is? See, because that's the bathroom door. Big expensive ass camera and everything's blurry. Jesus. Okay. Now see how these rugs are together right here. And I know that things get moved because people are walking around, but they move and separate a lot in the next set of photos of this bathroom. And I'm just like, y'all are moving shit. Stop moving shit. Stop stepping on everything and moving shit. See how there's just like a lot of rust? And with the drippy ass apartments next door, I'm just like less and less that's out blood outside the house. Unless it's like a mix of blood from something being washed and rust. I just don't believe that it's blood anymore. Not with what we've seen when it comes to the flooring and the way that the bodies were actually positioned. Because with the way that Ethan was leaning, the majority of everything coming out of him would have been soaked up by the mattress. That's just the truth. So that shit don't really make a lot of sense. For it to be blood coming out the house, I think it's something. I think it's rust or some shit. And see, now here we go. It goes right back down to downstairs. They block out anything when it comes to the rooms. We don't see shit when it comes to Bethany's. We don't see shit when it comes to Dylan's or Xana's or Kaylee's or Maddie's. We see fragments of the frame, and they, for some reason, felt the need to give us a shit ton of pictures of Kaylee's door right before they get to the bathroom. But if you notice, there's not even like an inkling of Maddie's bedroom door. Like there's the mirror right here that you see the officer walking towards whenever he goes to shut Maddie's door in the body cam. Nunez's own body cam as he's shutting the door. But you don't even see the door. It's so wild how much they decided to hide. And it's crazy. I don't know if y'all read it. I might do a video where I read over the entire like thing that Maddie's family filed. I probably will. See, there's a pizza box right there. Push down further. One of the reasonings for her wanting to file it is because there was stuff in the room that apparently would lead to victim blaming. And the only thing that I can think of that she might be talking about is there being some sort of substances in Maddie's room, because that's the only thing that people like have anything to say about when it comes to what was in Xana's room, because it was on the desk and it was described. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't lead to anything, especially if it is something that's more like personal use. And it's not like there's just a bunch of shit all over the house, all crazy and all over the place. But that's the only thing I could really think of what she was talking about, is there must have been something in the room that she thought would be like a negative, and substances is the only thing I can think of. You know? But that doesn't, I mean, for whatever their narrative is. That doesn't have shit to do with shit. So show us the freaking knife sheath. It's all we really care about, bro, is the knife sheath and the position and how it was found and the true timeline for when it was found and everything else. Like, I was going through back in and indexing some more of the MPD documents. And I'm going through like more of the timeline for Payne and Blaker. And they were called back to MPD. Actually, I can't say they were called back. Okay. The old man that we couldn't figure out who he was, that was saying that he had to talk to Payne and saying that he was calling Payne and he was telling Nunez that he needed a search warrant and stuff like that. That was John Lawrence. He's also the person who called ISP and requested assistance and spoke with them at 12:22. He called Mike Mooney, was transferred over to Gilbertson. I think Gunderson is with Moscow and Gilbertson is with ISP. There's so many freaking names. But he was transferred over to somebody, and then by 12:34 we had John Talbot. Not John. Is it John Talbot? It was whatever. Talbot is the lead guy now for ISP. He says in his report that at like 1:48, so at 13:48 hours, he calls Payne and Blaker to go to the police department because interviews needed to start being conducted with the witnesses and the family members that were like around. But then we have Talbot claiming that he got to the scene at 2:47 and Payne and Blaker are there. And Blaker is the one who's word vomiting a bunch of stuff to him that we literally see in none of his own reports, none of Blaker's own reports. So if they were called to the police station to start doing interviews, why the frick would they be already back at the scene by 2:45? That's an hour. People started getting to the police department for interviews around 13:30, it says. And by 2:45, they're already back at the scene. How are you doing interviews then? See why the stuff with Payne and Blaker makes absolutely no freaking sense. And then it has Payne basically walking through with Ashley Jennings. Payne and Blaker both are walking through, and Ashley Jennings is walking through, and their times are like only off by like 2 minutes. Their enter and exit times. So trying to pin down exactly like Payne's timeline is really frustrating because it goes back and forth way too much. And if he was doing stuff at the scene and then was called to the police department and then went back to the scene and then left again at some point to be back again at 4:00 in the afternoon, A, what the frick are you doing? And B, why aren't we just getting that timeline from the beginning? Why are we being told in everything when it came to a search warrant and an arrest warrant that they got to the scene at 4 p.m. and that he's the one who found the knife sheath? But then we have Chief Fry knowing by the phone call he got from Tyson Barrett that before 1 p.m. he was told about the knife sheath. That whole thing is just absolutely insane. Like, these should be concrete facts. These should be concreted facts that we don't have any discrepancies on. So now we're back at the front door. This looks like somebody kicked this bitch in. See that? It looks like a shoe scuff. Maybe an older one, though, because it's not very prominent, but it's there. See, that's just rust. It's just rust. Somebody did not flush the toilet. Yeah, y'all notice there was blood in here? Like, it's just like a little bitty drop, but there's blood in the trash can. See? I don't know what it could mean. It is a house full of girls, so it could be something else. So, okay, see right here? Whatever the frick was in the blinds in the beginning where we were like, what's in the blinds? What's sticking out of Xana's window? Now it's been moved. It's just the spot where it was, but now it's been moved. And see, now there's like a light thingy or like some sort of stand right here that wasn't there before. The same little pieces of ice and stuff are on the ground though. So these must still be from the same night. Hold on, guys. My son felt the need to tell me that the general character on the Fortnite game is now doing insurance commercials for the general insurance, and he thought it was hilarious. So he needed to come and tell me. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like these are just like, are these the same ones, or did he go around and do more photoing afterwards? Because this one looks the same. I think it looks exactly the same. Paper plate. Can't tell what that is. I don't think they've said that they like anything about this area specifically. Yeah, whatever was there is gone. There's a really bright light right there on the inside of that house. But we could tell that before on the body cam of whoever answered the door that one time. I feel like it was Emily. Going back and looking at it. I know some people thought it was Maisie. I thought it was Emily. Yeah, you could definitely see that. Molly's full of shit. Hmm. Yeah, I can't tell if these are like the same ones again or if he's doing a second walkthrough because they almost look identical. Almost look identical. Yeah, see now the pizza boxes are in this bag down here. So this would have been that same night. I'm just going to assume they are from the same night. See, what is this right here? It's a fast food bag. It's either a fast food bag or a popcorn bag. Lots of trash. See, there's another bag. Fast food bag, maybe? I don't know what would have those red stripes. And then what was this other one? It has markings on the whole bag. Some sort of pattern. I don't know. I can't tell. All their cars are real clean. Like, she just barely had a couple of bugs on her like on her front bumper. Everything else looks real clean. Then you get to the Hyundai Elantra. That damn thing is filthy. I'll pull up the Indiana traffic stop so that you guys can see like what I'm comparing it to, because damn. So again, with the bottom floor bathroom, see there's like a little bit of rust on the shower curtain. That's a wild overlap. The way this house was put together is wild. Why are they showing stuff that doesn't have nothing? I mean, they've already taken these photos. They like dubbing that house. You notice the shower and stuff, everything's dove, 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 dove. I mean, they smell good. So now that box, that crate that had a bunch of stuff in there is moved. See the keys by the front door? That's something that a lot of people were questioning, and that's one of the things that I first questioned, is how, like, if they... And now you have to question, honestly, even more, because now we have proof that Bethany was hearing shit, too. So why wouldn't they have just grabbed their keys and taken off? Like, in my situation, when I had to leave, and, like, safely, the only way that I knew I was going to safely be able to contact the cops in order to stop the situation was I grabbed my keys, I grabbed my kids, I threw them in the car with no shoes on, and I jetted off down the street and drove a mile away and called the police on my way out of the neighborhood. So knowing that the keys are like literally right here and the cars are literally right there, like, why would you not have just grabbed a key and just gone to whatever vehicle it was, gotten in that damn thing and taken off? If you have to go down the stairs to go to Bethany's room, that means you went down the stairs, you turned and went down a hallway when you could have instead went out the door. Why did you go and seclude yourself in a corner? Scared to death, but not afraid at the same time. Like, girl, you can't even try to make your shit make sense. So this is the door that they couldn't get into that had the padlock on it that was only handled by Team Idaho, the property management company. And that's because a maintenance order would have had to have been put in order for somebody from the property management's maintenance team to come in and do work on this thing. Now, I don't know a lot at all about this kind of stuff, but in the comments, I've seen a lot of comments that apparently are from people that work in HVAC and know this kind of thing, say that the way that this system is one of the systems that would basically like recycle the air inside of the home. So for there not to be any sort of smell doesn't work for them, because this is cycling the same air like through a system, and it would have been all over the house. Like, the smell would have been spread everywhere. I don't know how true all of those things are, but that seems to be the consensus amongst the people that are all commenting on it. It's all the same stuff. Written instructions. also remember thinking back to the beginning of the stuff, there was an HVAC truck out front, wasn't there? In the earlier days, I remember there being a truck outside the house. I just wonder if it was like somebody that Team Idaho called in that's on their like consignment contracts or what. Is that a screen? I tried to zoom in and see who this was for, but I couldn't read it. Like you can tell there's like numbers and like this probably says King Road, but I can't tell who the name was. It's too blurry. See, this is like the under the step. Like this is the Harry Potter closet. Now we go back up. Then you show us the steps again though, broski. Because see how stuff is now different? The TV's gone. The internet router has been dumped over, knocked over. The table is now moved. The shoe is in a different position. So they've already come in and like done a bunch of stuff. That's why like this is a different date. That's why I hate the fact that they don't like tell us when the other ones stop and when this new set starts. I mean, I'm going to assume that it's whenever it like started wrapping back around to the front of the house. But now, like I said, that crate that was on the bottom of the step, that's now gone. This stuff has now been moved around. There's stuff that's all kinds of different. Like even now, like this little black purse was more underneath that sweater. And now it's out like in full view. This stand right here, the ottoman's been moved. I don't even remember that freaking pink cup being there. I remember this cup being here. I have these cups. Pretty sure I have these cups. They look like the same color changing cups that Ariel got. And the TV was here. It's now gone. See, no, okay, see, that's even different. They took something out of the purse after moving it from behind the sweater, and it looks like it's an ID card holder, but now the ID card spot is like empty. Okay. Yeah, and see, that's a colander that wasn't there before. I do find it really interesting that they hone in on one of these events. I don't remember which event it was, but we'll get there in a second. I know it's coming up soon. They hone in. Oh, see, okay, this doesn't look like it would have the same separator. Okay, so this looks like it could be one of the boots that they would be talking about. And this has more like a little curvature. It doesn't have like that hardcore indentation of a boot heel. It's different. For sure it's different. So this is about as close into Xana's room as we get to see. Because this is her door right here. This is that second floor bathroom. And see, now the towel is different. The towel was splayed out differently than it in the other photos. It was covering more of this and not pushed back into the corner like that. And there was a pair of white pants on the floor next to this crock, and now it's gone. I don't even see that they're in here because those were like white jeans. And this is like sweatpant material, and this is a towel. Where'd the white jeans go? And see, this right here was on top of the washing machine. They moved it over. There's something sticking out of here. This all looks the same. They did something to this trash can. Did they put a trash can inside this trash can? That's what it looks like. It looks like they put a trash can inside that trash can. See, now here would be Dylan's room. God, this drives me insane. Drives me nuts to see how like everything's just everywhere. Back into the kitchen again. See, that's why these photos are so confusing. They done went in there and moved all kinds of shit around in the living room, but everything in the kitchen is still right. Nope, stuff's been moved. Stuff has been freaking moved. This Florida orange juice thing was on this side of the bag in the other photos. Because this right here, you could see clearly. This other orange juice thing. So they did move stuff in this kitchen already. Is that supposed to be the dog food? Because it's open. Stale as hell. So both of these closets are like under the stairs because this is the one on the second floor. Yeah, 2 Harry Potter closets. Yeah, this was definitely moved around. Why? Why are you moving the orange juice? And now the door's shut. And in the other photos, it was open still. All this looks the same. I don't think any of this stuff got moved. It's just amazing to me how much we just like don't see. There's not any like drips on any of this stuff either. See, this is the mirror. Like I said, this is the mirror that we see Nunez going up to before he closes the door. So I don't know why in the hell they decided to close Maddie's door instead of closing Kaylee's. That's absolutely wild. You can see Kaylee's room in this reflection right here. See how the rugs are now moved around because people have been walking all up in here, moving shit around. They were connected just in the corner. Like this whole thing's been moved. See all the Dove? They love Dove. Yeah, because this was like further up into that, like pushed up against it. And then again, we don't even get to see like any portions of the beginning of anything. Is this blood right here? Or is this just dirty stuff? It's hard to tell. And then they go back downstairs. See, this is that little step thing. Because the house was added on to, so it's definitely like hella discombobulated with the way that it had to be not really leveled. So someone's purse is in the back of Maddie's car. We know she didn't use this car to go to the corner club or anything that night. See, I don't know why they like even bothered taking photos of some of these things they found in the car. And then they redact them. Like, what is this? Like some blunt wraps? Like, did they go to the smoke shop? Like, who honestly gives two shits? Okay, so these are pictures from something. Oh, I think we've seen these. We've seen these. Why are they redacting these? We've seen these. These are Maddie and Kaylee. We've seen these before. So this is interesting too, because this is the balcony, and notice that the evidence tape, like, I don't know if it's because they found it closed or open. They've never really said, but they're photographing the door open. And I know that a lot of the weird shit that Dylan apparently said in the ISP interview is like about scaling a wall to use that door. And why would you use that door to get out when there's such a drop off? That's odd. Odd statements to make. I mean, honestly, Kaylee had the best room in the whole house. In my opinion, I'd have utilized the shit out that balcony. This is the power cord they mentioned in one of the documents. God, why is it so blurry? Okay, right here. Why are they feeling the need to do this? I was looking at it, and I think I see why. So if you look really close, there's like a line around this. See how it like has this space? So I wondered if they took photos of this, and see how this is like newly ripped off paint, because they thought that there was something in this vent, and they like took it off for a reason. Because why else would you be taking pictures of this thing like this? Like, you had to have thought this was moved or something, right? Or else why would you do that? Looks like it might have been removed for some reason, because there's a spot. See, and now things are moved a different way again. Now the jacket is balled up. The purse is now laid over. The ID thing is flipped. The cup is now another direction. Like, the ottoman is moved. Like, why are you even taking this picture? What is the point? What is the actual point of taking this photo after you've moved all this shit around? And this is now the third way that these items have been photographed. What is the actual point of taking this picture? That's the part I'm not understanding. Like, what good is it? What good is it if you've moved everything around again? Xana's car. See, there's still a COVID mask in her car. So anyone who's like, oh my God, he wore gloves. Oh my God, he was washing his hands. Oh my God. Oh my God. Everybody was apparently still wearing masks. Who do you know to this day that has masks in their car still? I don't know nobody. I know no one. I wonder what this stuff is right here. It's literally like random. This is like construction paper. This is like a Post-it note. Like, this is some random stuffs. I wonder what it's for. I wonder what that was. Registration, maybe? Whatever it was, they took it in as some sort of evidence thing. I guess it's in the paperwork. See, this would be like later on. The documents talk about them taking pictures of the cars like at a later date. I think the 18th. I think the 18th. There's another purse in the Range Rover. You can tell this thing just came off the car lot. Look at it. Clean and clean. I wonder what that is. Is that what they found here? A check all the way back from September the 9th. That's a check that should have been deposited by somebody. I wonder what that was. From Sky West? California Bank and Trust. What is Sky West? It's an airline. Somebody get like a refund check or something from a plane ticket? Because this looks like this would be a depositable check. And whatever this is from the Department of Motor Vehicles from the Idaho Transportation Department. Looks like it would have, like, why are you using this prime bag? What's in this prime bag? And what's this right here? Is this mail? It's hard to tell. See, that's one of the ISP guys getting gear and stuff out, and he's taking it out of this burgundy colored SUV. Is this a Yukon? I can't tell, but it looks like that's what it says. See, and then they're just kind of like random. See, at this point, they've got these right here blocking that door. Now, at this point, they've moved everything over. Now, here's where the Amido Black comes in. So, Amido Black stays like a light blue until it dries. And once it hits proteins and dries, it turns dark blue. So, like, there's light blue stuff all over the floor. It kind of looks like it gets darker down here. But with it being so far away, it's honestly kind of hard to tell. But it does look like there are portions down here that are darker. Oh, I have a red one. We use this all the time to make little pancakes and eggs. Sometimes I'll move it into the living room and we'll cook dinner together in the living room where we watch movies, just nice and slow, sort of eating it as we go. The thing is dirty. I know they took this in. Some people said it's because there's something in it where they can maybe see like what devices were hooked up to its Bluetooth. See, they definitely sprayed Amido Black up here because you can see some blue. Okay, look, see the cup? Okay, it's McDonald's. It's not Jack in the Crack. It's a McDonald's cup. It has been moved and somebody stepped on it. Like you're just trampling all over evidence, possible evidence. Wild. See, now here's another picture that I'm not really quite understanding what the point is because it's not the original scene. It's not the way anything was found. You've now separated the couches. You've moved the ottoman for the umpteenth thousandth time. You've moved the sweater over that direction. I don't see the purse anywhere. Like, what is the point of these photos? I guess I just don't understand. To show how they've moved shit around? I mean, because other than that, what's the point? See, here's those two dots again in a different spot. They had to have been like some sort of maybe banister, and maybe it wasn't always like technically a half wall. Maybe it had like something else that went all the way up to the ceiling that maybe they took out. Because that's starting to be a pattern. See, this is what it looks like with just the daylight coming in. Okay, now see, we're getting to the kitchen. You see how it's already drippy? See how it's already drippy? And it's not just about it being drippy. It's about the color of the drip. Because again, if it's not binding to anything, it stays light blue. It's not until it actually binds to the proteins that it turns dark blue, blackish color. See? This is all dark blue, black. and it drips down dark blue, black. And you can tell in the other photos what like, see how some of it's like bright, but then like it streaks into the dark. Yeah, but see, this bag don't really mean nothing to me, honestly. I don't care. See, look, like even in here, like it's being open a little bit. See, it's dark. All of this dark, is it attaching to something? See how some of this is still light in the back? It's still like a light color. Not till it gets into the dark stuff right here. See, there's plenty of light. There's plenty of light blue in between. And then it's these dark spots, these dark black splotches that dance in the middle. Yeah, the Jack in the Box thing is still just like, I'm not really quite sure. Like, I'm not really quite sure that that's still accurate. It would have been like 7 to 8 minutes if she would have actually gone out and grabbed it from the front door as soon as Molly would have driven away. They focus a lot on this little thing right here. I'm not quite sure what this is, so I'm going to Google it here in just a second. I don't know if they like knew what it was by looking at it or if they found it by digging. Canon Ivy. I know what Canon, what the brand is for, but I don't know what Canon Ivy is. Oh, it's a photo printer. It's one of these. Oh, Ariel would have had a field day with this kind of thing. She loves these little printer things. I didn't know that Canon had one like that. I've always seen like the really childish looking ones. You know what I mean? Why is that important to them though? I guess they can maybe like store something. Okay, so now we get into these. And again, those beginning photos had to have been taken like the same night, like the night of 11/13. These right here have a stamp of like 3/9/23 on it. And I think it's the other side. Unless they're taken on multiple days. I think these were actually taken on multiple days. Because the one that we looked at earlier, the timestamp tape, the evidence tape, is red and said 3/9/23. This is black and white and says 1/24/23. So the photos of the vehicle were taken at different times too, apparently. And this thing is so dirty. Again, all the crap they try to say about how he was deep cleaning his car. They were worried that he was cleaning his car because there was a bucket of like soap and water and cleaning chemicals next to the vehicle in the garage at his parents' house. This thing looks just like it looked in the Indiana traffic stops. Homeboy did not clean this damn car. Let me get to where they're like walking. Okay. I mean, look at it. Look how dark this thing is. Dirty. Look. It's already building up the nasty in the doorway. See right here? It completely matches all of the nasty in the doorways in the back right here. Look. He didn't clean this thing. Look how dirty the door handle is. No. They didn't clean this car. People are tripping. This is from them. This is from whatever he got on his car from his road trip and driving around in Pennsylvania. Because once they got this thing, they disassembled it. They were not going to have somebody get in there, drive it around, drive it the 2,000 something miles back. They weren't going to do none of that. They took this thing apart from the inside and then put it on a trailer and brought it back. Or they might have even flown it back because, you know, there was like no expense too high for what they were deciding to do with this. Is that the table? I bet you that's the table. But this is how it looked from him driving around in the snow and in the nasty. Because you see the direction? You see the direction? If this was from it standing still and them spraying it with stuff in a still like area like this, those drips would be straight down. But because the streaks are the way that they are, it's because the car was driving whenever they were made. He didn't clean this damn thing. It's just as disgusting as it was in Indiana. Just as dirty. Just as dirty. Yeah, this one says 124.23. And then it gets opened. See the inside? They take the gas pedal. They take the brake pedal. They take everything in here. They go in and they get everything out of these vents. They take this whole dashboard completely out of the vehicle. That's basically luminol. That's what it looks like when it dries. But we also know that they didn't find anything in here. So with all that spray, they put a black light and nothing would have populated. They would have just stayed that color. What are they trying to even show right here? Behind the steering wheel. And then the shifter. There's nothing there. And now see how it's red? This is the one that'll say like 3923 or something like that on it. Yeah. 3923. Either 39 or 3423. And it looks like the person's name maybe started with a J. Yeah, the thing is filthy. See, yeah, there's a mattress. There's another mattress over on this side. I want to know what this is right here. Yeah, we know that this is one of the mattresses from the house because we've seen this staining already. And that's it. That's all 382 pages. But I wanted to also show y'all these. These are the ones from the actual report. Now, I'm probably going to go, I don't want to say live today, even though I probably will. It'll probably be later on, though, like 8:30. I need to run to town. But I do plan, I wanted to go live again tonight to start going back over some more of the documents we have from ISP because we need to not forget that we're still going through those. So that might happen tonight. I'm hoping that happens tonight. My schedule stays right because I'm about to get off of this and I'm hoping by 8:30, 9 at the latest. I know that it's a Sunday, but 9 at the latest, hopefully by 8:30, maybe by 8. Don't hold me to a damn thing I say. Not with these kids, not with this schedule. Okay. So now they have sprayed Amido Black on the steps as well. But see how some of it's like really light and then it gets to like a dark spot. Like a dark spot, a dark spot. And then like up here, little bitty specks of dark in between the lighter color. I do also find that interesting. Like, look at this pulling right here. Do you see how, like, in the creases underneath, like, where the nail is, there seems to be, like, a dark blue? It's almost like this right here was cleaned, but they couldn't get all the way underneath the nail, is what it looks like to me. That's just my opinion. And then again, right here, you see how this coming down from, this is the living room wall. Like, this is not where this backpack was. This backpack was over in the middle of the room. This is an ottoman that was all the way across the room by the couch. And at the time that we were seeing stuff, this pink thing and all this crap was not right there. Okay. So we don't even know what day, honestly, these were taken. I mean, it might be in the thing up here. December 3rd. So he's moved all kind of shit around everywhere. But you see how, like, they've used Amido black spray here, and it's bright blue, but then you get these dark streaks of dark. The dark is the problem. That's binding to a protein, a biological protein. So one would assume that this is blood. This is not, but this is what this would be leading one to assume. But again, I don't know why they would put the backpack right here and then like photograph it like this is where this was. It's not. And see this too, like this corner right here. They're going to take photos of this spot and every photo is going to be different. See right here, it's like a clean picture. Now right here, they've literally put a white claw, or is this even the same corner? No, this is a different corner. Where is this from this part? Hold on, let me see. Where's this mirror? Okay, they've turned. Okay, maybe they don't really move as many things as I think that they do. Okay, so this is the side of the desk. That's the jewelry on the oblique corner. Then they're going to go over to the mirror. So now he's like standing on the side of the desk, looking down on it from the back mirror. Okay. And now he's back to the same corner in the front. And now he's back this way again. Okay, maybe he's not really moving stuff. Maybe it's more like he's just going back and forth a lot. Yeah, because here's this Simply thing back here in the corner. Is there 2 Keystone cans? Yeah. Yeah, there's one right here that has the tab still on it. And then there's one back here that has the tab off of it, apparently. Yeah, this is the one from the front. And then they took the tab off this one. They took the tab out of this one. Oh, hold on. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they're different ones. They're not moving stuff around as much as I thought. So this, okay, this, if I'm remembering correctly, is inside Xana's room. See this bag? I'm pretty sure that this is the one that we saw from the MPD documents that was next to a beer case thingy that had blood smeared on it. Because this looks just like the inside of her closet that we saw from those MPD photos. At least the portion of it that we got to see. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot here. Like there's a lot, but there's not a lot at the same time. There's a lot, but there's not a lot. So yeah. A lot, but not a lot. Yeah, there's not really a lot, is there? Not as much as you would think that there would be for everything that we've been told. That's for sure. It is pretty insane. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to end up releasing more things. I don't know what's going to go on with these redacted and unredacted documents. Again, I find it really, really interesting that after these temporary restraining orders were filed, they strategically released things to certain people, but not to everyone who requested it the way that they're supposed to. And like, I can understand to an extent, like, why they maybe wouldn't want certain things out, the families. But when it comes to the knife sheath, this is the most ignorant argument. Like, I don't care which family members is trying to file anything. I don't care how anybody feels about that person or the people or whatever. This is the most ignorant argument, because the knife sheath is the only thing that honestly matters in this entire thing when it comes to prove it. When it comes to them trying to say, trust me, bro, well, show us the freaking knife sheath. Show us the knife sheath. Show us the position. Show us the actual timestamps. Show us the proof. Not the narrative, not the story that you came up with, not all of the lies and all of the things that should be concrete facts, like the time somebody showed up at the crime scene or not. Tell us the truth. Show us the damn thing. Show us the way that it's laying in the bed. You don't have to show us their entire bodies. Show us her hip and her thigh in reference to where the damn thing is laying on, like next to her. Like, it can't be that difficult to understand what we're looking for here. Just show us the damn thing. If it was really buried underneath a comforter, the way that it's been described, there's no way in shit that Payne would have seen it, or that it would have been seen, period, before 1 o'clock, because Mabbitt had not shown up and nothing was supposed to have been moved until she got there. So that doesn't work for me. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. I want to see it. I want to see the position that was actually in. I want to see if there's anything else on it, because we know that there was other blood found on it. And someone earlier, before we started all of this, said that Payne himself said that he was never told that it was Bryan Kohberger's DNA on the knife sheath, and that's true. He said that in the closed sessions in January, that on the 19th, whenever they got the phone call with Bryan's name from the FBI, they weren't told for what. They weren't told that it came from IgG work. They weren't told that it came from the knife sheath. Brett Payne did say that so himself. That is in a transcript you can pull up yourself and read from the public website. He says it. It wasn't until the very next day that they got shown the IgG on a team meeting. So yeah, when he literally says they never said anything about Bryan Kohberger's DNA being on the knife sheath, or that it was his DNA on the knife sheath. He says that. He says that. It's in the transcripts. So yeah. All these photos and not really anything that answers anything. I mean, it looks like a clean house. There was not, I mean, in way of like blood, like there was nothing noticeable in any of those pictures. Nothing. And at least in the MPD photos, they showed us like the spots on the door. They showed us the blood on the floor in Maddie's room. We could see some of the pooling of blood that was on this side of Xana's bed. Sadly, I can say MPD's photos told more of a story than these. And there was barely any of them that we got to see. Which is another just crazy ass thing to me, because if there was really like 182 photos or whatever Snyder said in his report, and like these mainstream people got these photos, did they actually get all 180 something and then they chose to show the ones that they showed? Or did they actually just get that handful? I'm really wondering, because no one has released the rest of them. And I don't see how in this day and age, whenever I know damn well that those mainstream companies are not the only ones that asked for that stuff inside of Idaho, there's no way in hell they're the only ones that got them. So many questions about literally everything. It's so dumb. So dumb. All these things we should have definites for. All right, let me see what I missed over here. Thanks for the 5, Jess. Has it been proven in document form that Kaylee was in the bed under the cover when attacked due to the holes in that cover? No. Nothing that I have seen. They haven't shown that cover. When it comes to anything inside of the bedroom, we saw Maddie's doorway, her boot, her pants, whatever that leopard print thing was, her desk, blood spots on the floor, the end of the bed, the foot of the bed that had a beige, tannish beige. All of that is definitely reiterated over and over again in the ISP reports. That's not pink. It's a tan beige comforter, and then a white like throw blanket was also like towards the foot of the bed. But when it comes to anything cover wise, there's been nothing that has shown the full on photo, the full on picture of what was going on there. So no, that's not been proven anywhere. There's nothing that shows that. Thanks for the 2 fly high. Season 4, episode 14. I'm telling Ariel, she's gonna go find it. That's wild if that's true. I mean, I believe everybody is talking about it because they're like, holy crap, it has everything. The eyebrows, the statement, the fire bang or flash bang, whatever you call it. That's crazy. Thanks for rejoining, Bluebird. Thanks for the $9.99, Whitney. On News Nation interview with Dollinger, they walk around after the house is gone. The back parking lot drops off. It's not just walking out the woods to a parking lot. So you go up the hill and then there's like an actual drop off from like the hillside itself. I'll have to go look at that one. But I could have is that the one that we went over already? Where it's like really hella clickbait about a connection and then he's like, oh, we dug so deep and couldn't find it. Is that the one? I'll just go back and look at the layout. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Thanks for the $1.99, Sarah. Thanks for the 10, Mountain Lover. Took me a second. Thank you, Jules, for all the time and effort you put in. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all caring about the facts. Thanks for the 5. How do I say your name? Is of 1341 or ISOF 1341? Curious. Knives are placed on top of dishwasher as it can wash off DNA completely. Brian's car has a front bumper bra and the camera footage doesn't. His car had a thingy? I just looked at that photo and don't remember that. Let me look. Are you talking about this right here? Let me show you. Are you talking about like this lip right here? Because I thought that like the car bras are like down here at the bottom, like around the actual bumper. Yeah, like I always thought that they went around like this actual spot. This is different. So I don't know. I remember those being in a different spot. Yeah, that's like a bug deflector thingy. Yeah. You heard season 8, episode 16? Well, I guess we're going to watch them both. I guess we're going to watch them both. In the body cam, you can hear something like sheath in the cops. What? Oh, you saying you can see something? I didn't see them carrying anything. Yeah, it's a bug guard. No, the cars have that? Well, that's not shocking. As far as we can tell, anyway. We're going to end up going back through that body cam stuff. We're going to have to. With like the forensic documents of the phone and everything that they were doing. Because you're telling the police right then and there that you were asleep, and no, you weren't. No, you weren't. So you lied to the cop, day one, second one, as fast as you could. While the other one was trying to run away. While the other one was trying to run away. Yeah, all the phone activity does. Yeah, the thing about them closing Maddie's door is wild to me, because I don't know why you would choose to disturb the scene instead of closing Kaylee's door where the dog was. Yeah, we're probably going to end up going through, again, the, I guess, more extended footage that Gray Hughes put out of 11/12 before we go back over the body cam. Because it'd be good to go in and get as many timestamps for what we hear noise-wise as possible. Especially since she was adding a contact to her phone at 3:51. And there was a whole other person there. And then everything with the dog. And then Jack apparently having a 17-minute conversation with Kaylee that no one's known about. And you know what? Why that pisses me off the most is because just like the Goncalves is knowing damn well that Dylan lied to Steve's face about hearing anything and seeing anything, they've known this whole time because they have Kaylee's phone records that there was a 17-minute call between Kaylee and Jack, and they've chosen to not only lie to the public, lie to the media, but just lie in general. Because anytime they're asked about it, they sort of like dance around it. They don't really answer directly. They've mentioned a voicemail once. And then whenever they were asked to talk about the voicemail again, they backtracked. Or shall I say Steve backtracked. So they've known this whole time that it wasn't just 10 missed calls. It was 16 missed calls and a 17-minute long phone call. And they've still behaved the way that they've behaved towards these people, knowing these things. I don't understand. A lie is a lie, regardless of where it ended up. So it bothers me. It bothers me. Okay. I've got to go run and get some steaks before the store closes from the place that I like to get all my steaks. Another one. I saw somebody say something in here earlier that I forgot to acknowledge, but I wanted to because I haven't seen this yet. Apparently, they're doing a Dateline or a 2020 episode with Othram, even though Othram didn't do a damn thing and the Chapins didn't give a shit the entire time. Is that true? Okay, so now this is a different one. I just read that title as a song. Interesting stuff. I'm sure that the guy wore all black and said that line thousands of times, if you want to be so serious. I don't know. Who puts a new contact in their phone at 3:51 in the morning? And we also need to remember that whenever she's sitting there doing this to the cop, she said she was trying to go to sleep, not that she was asleep and was constantly being woken up out of a deep sleep, which is what the judge, for some reason, keeps trying to pretend happened here, which is not what happened here. Not at all. Drives me wild. Absolutely wild. All right, I'm going to get off of here. Like I said, I'll probably go live later on tonight so that we can go through the next batch of ISP documents, because there's a lot. There's a lot in here that we still need to go over. I don't want to forget none of it. So we're definitely going to be going back. So on the agenda for this week coming up is to finish the ISP documents, to go back over the body cam footage, and to go over the extended 11/12 footage that came out from Gray Hughes, on top of clipping out certain things that are extremely important that we talk about in the longer lives that need their own attention, and whatever else happens, because tomorrow's Monday and we're still waiting on things about these unsealed documents to come out and for whatever's happening with the restraining orders to be completed. And so far, they're just like pushing stuff back with that and not really getting any answers out there, but they're still releasing information. So it's all just, again, just as discombobulated as it possibly could be. But I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I will see you guys later on tonight. Y'all have a great rest of your Sunday. I don't know if I'm going to cook them. I just got to go get them before the store closes so that we have them. That makes, I have no idea what I'm making for dinner. I just have to go run an errand. Thanks for the $9.99, Jennifer. Thanks for waiting after your lives to read your chats. It's so distracting when people do that. I mean, yeah, it's distracting for me too, because I lose track of what like important track we're on, because then I'll see something that like gets my attention and I instantly want to talk about it. So I really try to like pay attention to what I'm doing, and then I say hi in the beginning and we talk for a little bit, and then I try to get to like what we're doing, and then afterwards I try to make sure that I catch everything that I can. I don't know. That's a great question, actually, Michelle, because I had an email. Let me see if I can find it. I had an email from the Idaho State Police that came to me after we already had the trying to see if this is it right here. No. There was one that they sent me, something about how they needed more time. Is that it right here? No, that's not it right there. Anyway, they sent me an email about how they were going to need more time because of the high volume of requests. And I'm like, okay, but y'all already like put a thing out publicly. So I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be anything else coming out. I don't know if they're going to be dropping anything else in the public thing, but I don't know why they would be telling me that like we need more time because of the high volume of this exact same request if they're putting stuff out into the public. I don't know why they wouldn't have just been like, everyone's information that they're asking for is going to be over here. If it's specific and it's not there, then ask us. But until you've gone through everything that we've released publicly, we're voiding all of these requests. That's sort of what I would expect for the fact that they're making websites public. But that's not happening. So I don't know. Okay. I'm going to jump off and go run my errands. You guys have a great Sunday. I will see you guys in a little bit. Let me go ahead and run this out real quick. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.